Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, 5:45 a.m. call from friend of a friend for tech support. WTF? A folder? How do I do that? I need screen 1 on the right. Someone told me to post this previous comment here, flashback 90s tech. Apparently we took it, even though it's been working for months. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. 5:45 a.m. call from friend of a friend for tech support. WTF? I'm sitting here stewing in my own juices. Damn home phone, which I keep because the security system uses, started ringing at 5:45 a.m. Yes, I was asleep. I don't get to it quickly enough and the answering machine picks it up and hang up. Then I hear my mobile phone start ringing downstairs, must be some kind of family emergency, so I make it downstairs in time to hear the home phone start up again. I answer, still half asleep and half scared that something big has happened. Me, hello? FOF, hi Dallas IT guy, this is Dollar Guy you barely know. Do you have a second? I can't get my laptop on my home wireless, and I really need to check to make sure my flight is on time. Me, who the F***CK is this again? FOF, this is Dollar Guy you barely know. I'm a friend of Dollar Other Guy. We met at Dollar Neighborhood Bar a couple of weeks ago. My internet's down and I remembered you're in IT, so I looked up your number and gave you a ring. Can you help me real quick? Me, you at dollar at hashtag dollar hashtag dollar percent and percent dollar hashtag percent at hashtag dollar at percent at dollar at hashtag at dollar percent hashtag dollar hashtag and dollar percent asterisk and at hashtag dollar percent at hashtag dollar percent at hashtag dollar percent at hashtag dollar percent at dollar hashtag percent at hashtag percent. Do you know how early it is, you presumptuous SOB? I barely even know you and you wake us up so I can help you with your hashtag at dollar hashtag at internet connection? Don't you ever dollar at hashtag percent dollar. Call me again you at hashtag at percent. FOF, sorry. I didn't think you'd mind. I just. Me, go F yourself. Click. So, I'm up now. A folder? How do I do that? So, I'm not sure if this counts, but I'd at least like to get this out there. I was taking this HTML class and the teacher was out, so I, being the good student I am, stepped up to provide support for people if they needed it. One student was asking how to put images on the site and where to put stuff. We were using Dreamweaver. Me, okay, so you need to make a folder to put the images in so the computer can find them. Student, right, a folder? How do I do that? I have to stop myself from laughing and giving him a hard time. Keep in mind we are working on Macs. Me, just right-click and hit create a folder. Boom, he does so. Again, I'm not sure if this counts. But it makes me laugh, as I also told him why and used a GPS as a metaphor for the computer finding the images. I need screen 1 on the right. This is a short exchange which just happened about 5 minutes ago. User presented wanting to change the location of one of her monitors. Names have been redacted to protect the moronic. User, hello, I need some help. Me, morning, how can I help? User, I would like to have my screen on the right side to be the one. Can you help? Please? Asterisk sends screenshot of display settings, screen 1 is on the left, 2 on the right. Me, so right now your screens are backwards? 2 is physically on the right and 1 is physically on the left. User, yes I think. Me, okay, so you should be able to click and drag your screens on that diagram so that 1 is on the left and 2 is on the right, then they should match up with the physical locations of the screens. Asterisk sends me the same screenshot, 1 on the left, 2 on the right. User, this is how it is now. Me, okay, so you can drag and drop those boxes to match where the screens are in reality. I'd advise to click Identify so that you are sure which screen is which first, then if the one on the right is 1, drag the number 1 screen to the right of the number 2 screen in that diagram. User, okay. User, it's not working. Me, you can't click and drag the screen? User, can you take control and do it for me? I then proceed to take control of her PC and note that display settings is closed. I then open settings, go into the display settings and click Identify. 1 is on the right and 2 on the left. Me, okay, when I clicked Identify, was 1 on the left screen and 2 on the right screen? User, yes. I click and drag 1 so that it is on the left of 2, to match the physical location of her screens. Me, so that ought to do it. I just dragged your screens in the display diagram to the correct positions. User, but I want the screen 1 to the right side, please. Me, but when you click Identify, is screen 1 on the right or left? User, 1 is now at the left side. Me, so on the diagram, 1 needs to also be on the left. User, so we cannot do anything, Me, I don't understand, why do you want 1 to be on the right? User, that is how I am comfortable, I had to explain to her that this is how it needs to be if she wants to be able to move her mouse around from screen to screen in the way that they are meant to be. I was tempted to tell her to physically move her screens so 1 would be on the right and 2 on the left. But I didn't want to have any kind of liability in case she broke something. Someone told me to post this previous comment here, flashback 90s tech. In the late 90s and early 2000s, OEM car company distributed its worldwide diagnostics system tool used for repairing vehicles in their dealerships, using Windows 98 as the OS. Not NT and definitely not a commercial grade OS, but I digress. Whenever a technician in the field had an issue with the software, which was often, the first thing Tier 1 support would suggest was to reload the software from disk. The designed, approved, and published correct loading process was: start up the system and boot off the disk, watch the % completion bar on the screen, after it is at 10%. 15-minute process, perform a hard, Ctrl, Alt, Del, reset, then reboot the system and load it again. It had to do with disk partitioning as I recall, but that just seemed like the laziest fix or initial software implementation I had ever seen up to that time. Another doozy from that product, the portable PC had a problem with batteries not lasting very long on each charge, since they were often temporarily disconnected from their base during use. The fix was to create a battery reconditioning program that promised to return the battery to its longest lasting state, and took about 2 hours to run. So far, so good. Some proactive thinking technicians across the nation decided to perform this every night so their precious and irreplaceable tool, of which there were only a few in each dealership for all the techs to share, would be ready for max performance the next morning. A few months later, all of these systems started dying and their expensive batteries had to be replaced, as no one realized that these so-called smart batteries would only allow themselves to be recharged 2,500 times before they would commit suicide and refuse any further attempt at recharging. The original manufacturer of the battery packs made a killing off of supplying the tens of thousands of battery packs to OEM car company Tier 1 diagnostics tool supplier. The Tier 1? Not so much as OEM car company made them eat the cost. Apparently we took it, even though it's been working for months. This just happened. A customer called because their wireless mouse they bought from us stopped working. I asked if they did the standard stuff etc., and then asked them to unplug and plug back in their USB receiver. They can't find it. So I say to just bring in the computer, and we can check it out in here. They bring it in and it's actually a keyboard and mouse combo. I have a look and there's no USB receiver in their computer or in the storage slot in the mouse. I let her know this. Me. DL, distressed lady. CT, call out tech. The convo goes like this, shortened, as she was going in circles repeating herself, making me as well. Me, there's no receiver here. DL, I just brought it in like you said too. Me, I understand that. DL, cuts me off, babe. I didn't touch it. Yes, she got this upset this early into the conversation. Me, it's not in the slot in the mouse so. DL, interrupting me, the mouse has always looked like that. Your CT must have done that. Me, well, that's because he would have taken it out to plug it into your PC. It should look like this. I was just saying as. DL, interrupting me again, I am the only one that uses my office. No one else touched it. Your CT came out in June and set it all up, so he must have taken it. Me, has the mouse worked since he came out? DL, yes. It's worked all the way up until 2 days ago. Me, then it was set up correctly with the receiver installed because it wouldn't work without it. He could not have taken it. DL, freaks out and starts raising her voice. I swear on God that I am the only one in my office. He must have taken it. Me, he couldn't have if it's been working. What did you unplug from your computer to bring it in? Gestures to the VGA port, power, and she unplugged her printer. Me, what about the keyboard? Was that working? DL, listen to me. I just picked up the keyboard and put it in the box to bring here like you said. I don't know what it was doing. Me, okay then. Could it have been bumped out then? DL, presses her hands on either side of her head. You are not understanding me. I didn't touch anything. Me, shocked, okay. Well, it's not in the mouse, and it's not in the computer. So it's not here. If you didn't. DL, cuts me off again. Your manager told me to get this in the first place. At least test it on your computer. Me, I can't test it without the USB receiver. This goes on for several minutes, me trying any way I can to get her to understand, and it just repeating like this. Until I offer to call the CT, who is on a call out, and she accepts and said she'll come back later. I did speak to the CT, and he plugged it into the computer. I was hoping by some miracle there was a USB port on her monitor that he used so I didn't have to repeat this again. RIP. She's coming back later today, and I'm going to get one of the male techs to explain it, as they can be more stern than me. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.